In the early days of AI, the idea that machines could surpass human intelligence belonged to science fiction. But breakthroughs in machine learning and neural networks have brought that possibility closer to reality and raised urgent concerns. In 2015, Stephen Hawking warned that the development of full artificial intelligence could spell the end of the human race. His fear wasn't about sci-fi fantasies, but about losing control once machines outthink us. The potential consequences range from massive disruption to existential threat. So how real is that threat? To find answers, we turn to experts at the frontier of AI research. Geoffrey Hinton, known as the godfather of AI, helped create deep learning, which powers today's voice assistants and facial recognition. But in 2023, he left Google and began warning about the very systems he helped build. The risks of AI are more urgent than I previously believed, he said. His concern? AI systems rapidly gaining capabilities we don't understand. Yoshua Bengio, another Turing Award winner, shares that concern. He fears that AI might develop emergent goals that don't align with human intent. It wouldn't be evil, just indifferent to us. This issue of alignment is central to Eliezer Yudkowsky, who argues that a misaligned AI optimizing for the wrong goal could still end humanity. His stark warning, "We are not ready." Others disagree. Yann LeCun, Meta's chief AI scientist, says today's AI lacks reasoning or autonomy. He believes fear is overblown and urges focus on responsible innovation. Fei-Fei Li of Stanford emphasizes the dangers of how AI is used now. From bias in policing to privacy erosion, she says, we must confront current harms, not just hypothetical ones. Economically, Fei-Fei Li warns that AI could displace millions of low-skilled workers. AI replaces tasks, not jobs, he says. But without strong policies, inequality will rise. UC Berkeley's Stuart Russell believes our current methods, optimizing AI without embedding human values, are deeply flawed. He calls for AI that always seeks human input. So, is AI dangerous? Opinions vary, but most agree. The pace of development must not outstrip our ability to control it. Another critical dimension in this debate is national security. Eric Schmidt, former CEO of Google and co-chair of the U.S. National Security Commission on AI, has repeatedly emphasized that AI is not only a tool for economic growth, but also a powerful weapon in the global geopolitical arena. In testimony to Congress, Schmidt stated, "Whoever leads in AI will shape the future of global power." His point is clear: if democratic nations don't take the lead in AI development and regulation, authoritarian regimes with fewer ethical constraints might. This concern is not theoretical. China has already deployed AI for extensive surveillance and social credits scoring. The use of facial recognition to monitor citizens, predict behavior, and control dissent represents a dystopian application of AI that many Western experts warn against. As the technology proliferates, so too does the risk of AI being weaponized for social control, cyber warfare, or automated conflict decisions, what some refer to as the rise of killer robots. UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres has called for a global ban on autonomous weapons systems, emphasizing the moral and legal dangers of machines deciding life and death. However, efforts to regulate AI at a global scale have lagged far behind the pace of technological advancement. This regulatory gap leaves societies vulnerable, not just to bad actors, but to well-intentioned yet poorly understood implementations of AI. In response, many researchers advocate for AI alignment as the holy grail of safety. The idea is that we must ensure AI systems understand and follow human values. But encoding human values, deeply contextual, often contradictory, and culturally diverse, is no simple task. Some argue it may be an unsolvable problem. That's why institutions like OpenAI, DeepMind, and Anthropic are investing heavily in AI safety research, transparency tools, and interpretability methods. Still, others believe that the most immediate risk is not from hypothetical superintelligences, but from economic and informational disruption. Deepfakes, for example, have become so convincing that they are now used in political misinformation, financial scams, and reputational attacks. Deep learning models like GPT-4 or video generators like Sora can generate entirely fictional content that looks and sounds real. Experts like Gary Marcus warn that we are entering an information war era, where trust in public discourse is systematically eroded by synthetic media. Then there's the ethical dilemma of responsibility. When an AI system makes a wrong decision, whether in a hiring algorithm, a parole recommendation, or a driverless car accident, who is to blame? The engineer? The company? The algorithm? These questions remain largely unanswered, exposing a dangerous accountability vacuum. To complicate things further, AI is often developed within profit-driven environments where speed and competitive advantage override long-term ethical considerations. Timanit Gebru, a former AI ethics researcher at Google, raised concerns about bias and lack of oversight in large language models, only to be forced out of the company after publishing a critical paper. Her experience illustrates a troubling reality. Speaking truth to power in the world of AI can come at a steep cost. Despite these dangers, it's important to remember that AI itself is not inherently malicious. Like fire, electricity, or nuclear energy, AI is a tool, one with the power to both build and destroy. Whether it becomes a force for liberation or oppression depends on how we choose to govern it. Ultimately, the debate about AI's danger is not just about technology. It's about power, control, responsibility, and foresight. It's about whether humanity can act collectively to put guardrails in place before it's too late. And it's about recognizing that while AI may not yet be an existential threat, it is already a systemic one capable of amplifying both our best intentions and our worst impulses. Perhaps the most dangerous thing about AI is not the machines themselves, but our assumption that we'll always have time to catch up. Because if history teaches us anything, it's that the most powerful technologies rarely wait for us to fully understand them before they reshape our world. And yet, amid all these warnings, there are still voices urging balance. Demis Hassabis, CEO of DeepMind, believes that responsible AI development is possible if we pair innovation with caution. He often compares our current moment to the early days of nuclear physics, where scientists had to reckon with the vast consequences of their discoveries. "We need a Manhattan Project for AI safety," Hassabis once remarked, not to build a bomb, but to build the ethical frameworks necessary to contain one. Similarly, Sam Altman, CEO of OpenAI, has testified before the US Senate urging regulation. While optimistic about the potential of AI to solve global problems, from climate modeling to drug discovery, he also acknowledged that if this technology goes wrong, it can go quite wrong. His organization has even paused releases of some models due to safety concerns, emphasizing the principle of iterative deployment. At the heart of the issue is a paradox. We are building systems more powerful than anything we've built before, yet we're doing so with incomplete understanding. Complexity, scale, and speed have outpaced transparency. Even the engineers building the systems sometimes don't fully know why a model behaves the way it does. This is why interpretability, the ability to understand how AI makes decisions, has become a frontier of AI research. Without it, we risk creating black boxes that cannot be audited, corrected, or trusted. It's also why there is a growing call for multidisciplinary collaboration. AI is not just a computer science issue, it's a societal one. Ethicists, sociologists, legal scholars, human rights experts, and everyday citizens must be at the table. The more perspectives we bring into the development process, the more resilient and humane our AI systems can become. There is no single answer to the question, is AI dangerous? But one thing is clear, ignoring the question would be the greatest danger of all. Even among those sounding alarms, there is a shared belief that the future isn't doomed. It's undecided. AI can help solve major problems: climate change modeling, medical breakthroughs, educational access, and more. But these benefits will only come if governance keeps pace. The European Union has taken early steps with its AI Act, aiming to regulate high-risk AI applications. The US, while slower, is beginning to draft frameworks for transparency and accountability. But in many countries, regulations are still reactive rather than proactive. Some researchers propose international cooperation, similar to nuclear non-proliferation treaties. The idea is that certain types of AI, such as autonomous weapons, should be globally banned, while others require shared standards for safety and ethics. Whether such agreements can be enforced remains an open question. Education is another pillar of safety. The more the public understands what AI is and isn't, the better positioned societies are to demand responsible use. This includes teaching critical thinking in the age of deepfakes, understanding data privacy, and resisting algorithmic manipulation. We are standing at the beginning of a new era. Whether it unfolds into a renaissance or a crisis depends not on the code we write, but on the wisdom we apply. The future of AI is still in human hands, but the window to act may not stay open for long.